Alrighty, you have successfully made it to what will likely be the last module, and really what I consider to be the meat of the course. Um, this is probably going to be what takes you the longest, not only to go through, but to actually go out and do it, because there are a lot of action items involved in this module. I think the most important one is the resume because if as we already discussed in the previous module, which we're not going to go into today, but resume building is extremely important. It's how you get your foot in the door. But I'll say that you know this is the second most important part, the actual landing of interviews and interviewing successfully from beginning to end until you get that job offer. I'm gonna I'm gonna help you go through that because at this point, you've probably put together, and we'll go through this, but you've put together the list of your top companies, and and now you understand how to even vet for companies so that you're not even wasting your time on dead end opportunities. So, what we're really going to get into today or in this module is okay, now that now what do you do with the list of companies, right? And how do you make sure that you don't screw it all up? Because at the end of the day, we're putting together all this work and this research of top companies. We want to actually get our foot in the door now, right? Otherwise there's no point in coming up with this list of aspirations of companies that we want to be a part of. So we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do it right. But before that, what I want to do today is land put into perspective everything that we're going to be going into, and really paint the picture of how intentional and methodical this entire thing really is. It's no accident. Success is not going to be an accident in this example, in this part of your life. It'll be extremely intentional. So let's go through it. What we're going to be covering in this module is going to be roughly six different things. I'm going to go over your expectations, right? Like, what should you expect in terms of even number of rejections? When should you expect to get an offer? I'm going to walk you through your timeline of approximately how long it takes to actually get an offer. Um, I'm going to go into also what I call the mass approach. Really, my suggestion for beginners who are really looking to break into tech sales, how can you break in? What is the best method of breaking in? I'll get into that. I'm also going to walk you through the method which follows behind mass approach, but really how to prove that you're ready to go out, and basically how to go for the top companies and go after them with high degree of confidence, and be able to predict that you'll be able to actually even get the job offer. How can you do that? So I'm going to walk you through a couple different tests that we can run with your interviewing skills and your resume to see if we're really ready to go after those big whales, the big tigers, right? The trophy companies, because you actually don't want to apply to those first. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean later. We're also gonna do what I call practice interviews. You're not gonna do them with me. You're not gonna do them actually even in this module. You're gonna go out and do it with real companies. I'm gonna show you how. And actually, I love this because it's gonna help you take the pressure off of interviewing entirely, and you'll actually be able to interview with high degree of confidence after a certain amount of time. Um, and then after that, I'm actually gonna, by the time you're done with step number 4, you're gonna know exactly how to prepare and how to come into and deliver the perfect interview, so that again you can expect with a high degree of confidence an offer with your dream companies. And lastly, going for the kill, right? After all these steps are done, you're gonna know how to go for the kill. You're just gonna know how to get what you want. I'm gonna show you how. Other items that we're going to be covering in this module are going to be flipping the script technique. This is crucial because I think a lot of folks get really nervous and they just don't even act normal anymore in the interview. They act like uber professional to the point where it's actually like they don't even seem like a human. They seem robotic. So I'm gonna show you the flip the script technique that's gonna take a lot of pressure off of you and help you perform really well in these interviews. I'm going to go over mindset. Like, what's the inner game of all this? How do you approach these interviews and these really like business conversations with, sales managers and sales directors? How do you like what mindset? What's the inner game of it? How do you go into these high stakes situations completely at ease and with confidence? I'll teach you how to do that. I'm going to teach you the top questions you should be asking recruiters and hiring managers, aka the sales managers that are going to be interviewing you, so that you 100% make sure that you're going to be going into a really good situation, a really good job opportunity. I'm going to go over the role the recruiter has, why they even interview the way they interview, so that you understand the interview process from their standpoint. Same thing with the sales manager. You're going to know exactly why they're asking you anything. You're going to just know what their motivations are. And you're going to understand the mechanics of interviewing, which goes into what they're looking for. And really, what I want to finish this introduction with is a little bit into why this method works. Why does this all work, right? Um, there's a lot of ways to actually go out and get job offers. But the reason why this method that I'm going to go into in this module all works is because there's no connections required. It doesn't matter if you're from the mud, quote unquote. And what that means is like, it doesn't mean if you're a nobody from nowhere. That's what I was 7 years ago. I happened to stumble into a good university. I really worked my butt off in community college to achieve that. But I didn't really actually have any connections when I graduated. I didn't have, my parents are immigrants. We don't really know anyone important or anyone that's wealthy. We kind of just, made our way through life by working hard. And so I graduated and didn't have any network or any connections. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for this course. You can be from nowhere, and as long as you have ambition and hard work, and a couple other requirements that I mentioned in the earliest modules, you're going to do well in this course. You don't, or you're going to do well with this method. You don't have to be good at selling yourself. I'll actually teach you how, and as I mentioned previously up here, by the time you're done going through these steps, you're going to know exactly how to sell yourself. So don't even worry about that. It doesn't even matter if you're not a natural interviewer. When I was interviewing back in the day, I really was not charismatic or extroverted by any means. I learned that, and I'll show you how you can cultivate that part of yourself. But it doesn't matter if you're not charismatic. This will still help you out. And lastly, I want to conclude by saying that there are many ways of landing a job and getting a job offer. There's seriously many methods out there. This is just my way. It's just kind of how I went about it. And it's based on the fact that, I've at this point done 3 successful job hops that have resulted in raises and promotions for myself. 7 years ago, I started making $45,000 a year. Now I'm at 90,000, and I made over 200,000 last year. I've also used these same methods to mentor my sister and my friends who've negotiated 5 figures. And lastly, I did this. I used these methods to graduate college with 2 job offers, whereas a bunch of my friends actually struggled for many months to land a job. So I know this stuff works. Welcome to the meat of it. I'm glad you made it this far. Looking forward to showing you the secrets.